Alright, let's talk about conversion today. Conversion usually is a very easy problem for the most part, and that's probably the reason why we are not so well versed in it, because most of the time they are so easy that we really don't pay attention to the process and we just use brute force to get the answer. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Suppose if I ask you how many seconds are there in a day. Basically, I want you to convert from days to seconds. You'll fiddle around with your calculator, you'll figure it out right away how to do it, even if you don't know on top of your head. To formalize this process really involves this. What you realize is you have to go from day to seconds. You don't know exactly what is the conversion rate, but what you know is going from day, you know the relationship between hours and day, right? And you know the relationship between minutes and hour, and then you know the relationship between seconds and minute. Thus, what you do then mentally is you get rid of this day with this day, this hour with this hour, minute with this minute, and all you have remaining is second on this side and second on this side. That's your mental process. Now, how exactly does this work? And let's do this formally, and let's look at a more complicated process. Again, just the way as the process sounds, you have to go from day to seconds, right? You have day on the top and this side, but you're going to end up with seconds on the top and that side, okay? You don't know the relationship, but what you know is you find the easiest, the closest relationship that connects these two things. You know hours will connect day, and then hour is closer to second than day is, okay? But you can't just multiply by hour and divide by day, you have to make it equal. So what you know, 24 hours is same as 1 day. Well, you're a little closer, right? But you're not there yet, but you know minute relates to hour and it's closer to seconds. So what you do is you divide by hour, you multiply by minute. Then you have 60 minutes equals to 1 hour. Here the process is you want to make this to top and bottom of the fraction equal. We know 60 minutes is same as 1 hour. That's why we can do that. Again, the same process. Now you're almost there. You want to get rid of minutes. You want to get rid of minutes and you want to introduce seconds. Again, you can't just multiply by second and divide by minute, but what you can do is introduce 60 seconds in 1 minute. That solves your problem. Now, what you're really doing on your previous step is you're getting rid of this day and day, hour and hour, minute and minute, all you remain with is seconds. Now, this conversion factor really is the multiplication of what's on the top, that is 24 times 60 times 60, and then on the bottom 1 times 1 times 1, and this it comes out to be 86,400. So really going from day to seconds, it involves a conversion factor of 86,400. What that means is if you're asking me how many seconds are there in 1 day, well, all you have to do is 1 times 86,400. If I ask you how many seconds are there in 5 days, well, it really means 5 times 86,400. You can do the math. Okay? Let's do a slightly difficult problem. Slightly more difficult because the answer is not so obvious. Suppose you have a foreign friend and you tell him your car gives the mileage of 40 miles per gallon. Okay? Your friend doesn't know what mile means and what gallon means, because in his country he uses kilometer per liter, right? How do you go from miles per gallon to kilometer per liter? Well, the first thing you want to find out is you want to find the conversion factor. Okay? What is the conversion factor going from miles per gallon to kilometer per liter? Okay? All right, let's get started with miles per gallon. And you want to reach to kilometer per liter. Well, we need few facts here. The first fact is we want to find the conversion factor of between miles and gallon. What is the relationship between miles and kilometer? Well, there are many ways it could have been expressed, right? It could have been, let's put it in the side here. Okay, 1 mile equals to 1.6093 kilometer. Okay. Also, 1 gallon equals to 3.7854 liter. Okay, that's a known constant. Somebody already gave you this. Let's use this information. Okay, you want to go from miles on the top to kilometer on the top. Okay, the way to do that is you have to get rid of miles. The only way to get rid of miles is introducing it in the bottom. You have to introduce kilometer. The only way to introduce it is on the top, because you want kilometer on the top. But you can't just multiply by kilometer and divide by miles. You have to make it equal. But what you know is 1 mile is same as 1.6093 kilometers. Okay, first part is done. Okay, let's go back. But you want to get rid of gallon. The only way to get rid of gallon that's on the bottom is by introducing gallon on the top. We want to introduce liter, so liter. Now we need the relationship between gallon and liter, because you can't just multiply by gallon and divide by liter, right? What you can do is 1 gallon is equal to 3.7854 liter. Well, now you're done, because miles and miles can go away, gallon and gallon can go away. You have remaining kilometer per liter. That's exactly what you wanted, kilometer per liter. Now you have to find the conversion factor. The conversion factor is 1.6093 on the top divided by 3.7854, which comes out to be, if I did my math correct, 0.4251. This is the conversion factor. That means going from miles per gallon to kilometers per liter, you need to multiply by 0.421. Remember, it's always multiply. That's how we define the conversion factor. That means how much is 40 miles per gallon in terms of kilometer per liter? Well, it's 40 times 0.4251. If I did my math correct, this is somewhere about 17.0040 kilometer per liter. And this is as hard as it comes. That's all you need to learn.